Hello, it's Ben from Return to Earth once again, a snowy wasteland. Hi ducks, let's go check out the winter duck pond actually. So anyways, got a few projects I'm working on here today. Sounds early, it's January 20th or something, and we're working on getting ready for maple syrup, because before you know it, we'll be here. I'm sure you can hear the ducks. They're going to paddle all of the grass out of that one little spot. And you can see here, now that there's some ice gone, you can see the little spring that's formed here. So that's actually all the water from around my house, all is graded towards here and pours into the pond. It was a really smart design by the guy who built the place. Anyway, so today's project is getting our new evaporator set up. So why don't you come with me into my sugar shack. It's called the S4 building. It's the sugar shack combination she shed. So we've got a bunch of benches here so that we can plant and put our materials in here. I've got all my tapping equipment up there right now. And then this is my old evaporator. So I wanted to give a little tour of what the old evaporator looked like. So I had to get some of the stones out of the way in order to mess around with the chimney and stuff, in order to get some parts out of here I needed. But why don't you take a look at this? So if you're at all familiar with sugaring, this is pretty much a bog standard cinder block evaporator. So we've got our I think they're 8-inch cinder blocks all the way around. Some of them are 10s. It depends on what I had kicking around. And it's about 7 feet long, and the internal capacity was about 5 feet of burning space. And then I don't remember why I made it this high, but I did. And I think it just kind of made sense. So in the bottom, I had this old shelf that I bent and kind of turned it into a grate. Again, I had to move that in order to get something out of here. And I lined the bottom with some sheet metal, and that kind of helped keep the bulk of the really, really harsh heat off the stone. So I didn't have any exploding stones or nothing. At the back, there's another piece of sheet metal on an upwards angle. So underneath there, I buried a bunch of gravel to kind of like try to create that upwards angle for the evaporator. Anyways, that was about it, and I did 140 taps on this one, and it's done its job, but it's time to upgrade a little bit. So we got to get this row of stones out, clean up all the crap on the bottom, and we can bring our new evaporator in here, and I can take you on a tour of that one. So let's get going. As you can see, I've used all different blocks as I had them available. Uh-oh. The mice have built nests in the base here. Well, sorry, mouses. Oh, that one's not inhabited anymore. Now, for a farmer, I'm not very good at killing stuff. Oh, it's a fucking rag. Actually, that's a good point, myself. I'm gonna stop that. I'm actually gonna start digging out the ash while I still got a bit of a lip there. Alright. I'll actually be right back. I'm gonna go grab a few more non-food grade buckets and the quad so I can throw these on there and take it out. Alright, change the plan. I got the tractor because I'm lazy. Okay, so we've got all the ash out of here now, and what I'm going to do is, this was positioned as such to center on the chimney, and but of course my sap pan had to fit on here, so that's why this is where it is. What I'm going to do now is, because I now have an oil tank evaporator, I'm going to move those blocks all the way up against these studs here, and they can act as a bit of a heat shield between the oil tank and the wall, so it'll act as give me a bit of insulation, because I can't put the oil tank all the way against the wall because it's essentially a furnace. So this will create a nice barrier to both help insulate the heat and also protect my plastic and studs. So we're going to move this wall over about 6 inches, and then we're just about ready to get the new evap in here. All right. I feel like I've used more stones than I already had, but I don't know how that's possible. Okay, let's get these blocks out the way, and then we're just about ready to try to get that new evaporator in here, and then I can start rebuilding my shed. Okay, hit the door. Get rid of the old chimney. There we go. We're in position. Seems like a bit of an upgrade. So what I'm going to do for this year is, I'm not going to fire brick the interior of my evaporator because I'm not completely sure that I'm going to leave everything where it is. I probably repeated this before, but 3 years. I read that I believe it's one of Joel Salatin's book, and he says, do something, leave it for 3 years, and if you use it as it is for 3 years, then make it permanent. So, because of my maple syrup operation, I anticipate growing again. So, year 1, I did 50 taps. Year 2, I did 150 taps. Year 3, this is my third, is it my third season or fourth? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm expanding again to like 250. I'll be able to handle it with this, but the beauty of what I'm doing here is that I can make it modular. So let's say I want to get more boiling action, I can actually just build a second one of these and plonk it next to it, and then I have double the square footage. So long as I can reach over one to get to the other, then I could basically build an exact duplicate of this, and then I have more boiling capacity. So anyway, because of all of these potential changes, I'm not going to modify anything beyond what I need to, because of course if I duplicate this and put 2 next to each other, then I only have to fire brick the one side of each one and create a large firebox. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So for this year, I'm going to leave the cinder block on the outside, and I'm going to rebuild a cinder block wall on this side just to give me a bit of insulation, plus protect me from accidentally burning myself on the steel. And yeah, I've got a little splice there. I'm going to put some real chimney pipe instead of an old piece of ductwork or something. I don't know what the old... I grabbed this piece of chimney off of something I had laying around, and I think it might have been ductwork based on how it was disintegrating, so upgrade that into real chimney stove and stovepipe. And yeah, we're good to go for end of February or March. Alright, I just want to take a minute here. We're done, and done the wall here. Ready to go. I've leveled it. And just talk about my appreciation for nature. And I have a small forest here in the back that's mostly sugar maple, and it's incredible. Once a year I can sneak back there and tap into just a little portion of all of the fertility that's out there. And it's pretty amazing. I read somewhere, I think it was in a culinary something or other, just talking about how maple syrup's pretty much the last truly wild food. I don't have much of a hand in it. I try to take care of the forest in a sustainable and responsible way as much as I can, but really it's up to the trees. I don't have... It's not like one of my hogs where I get it young and I take care of it and I have my hands in it every step of the way, and then I harvest it and I reap what I sow, so to speak. The trees, I try to manage them responsibly and take care of the trees that are there, but there's only so much I can do, and then I'm able to tap into it and get a little bit of sweetness. And if you ever get a chance to do it yourself, ain't nothing like making your own maple syrup. I'm sure there's some big producers that are really, really sick of looking at the stuff by now, but I'm not there yet, and I don't know if I ever will, because I'm not going to be that big where it's just a deluge nonstop. It's not a hobby. It is part of my business, but it's just above being a hobby, and I get to treat it as such. Yeah, so that's my little sucky philosophical thing about syrup. And but yeah, thanks for coming along with me, watching me get this set up, seeing what I'm up to out here in the sugar shack, and I look forward to posting some stuff later in the season when I got it up and running and you can't see anything in here because it's all steam. Anyways, see you in the next one. Bye.